بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. So moving on, we are now going to be discussing the mazid fi, the ismul fa'il and the ismul maf'ul of ajwaf verbs. So here we know we're right here, al-babu thalith and al-mu'tal. And ومزيد الثلاثي لا يعتل منه إلا أربعة أبنية. What he's saying here is that the mu'tal, only four abwab of the mazid fi go through i'tilal when they are ajwaf. What are these four? He mentions them one by one. Ajaba yujibu ijabatan. Okay, ajaba yujibu ijabatan. So what he's saying here, he says ajaba yujibu. So we've done the madi ta'lil before, the same thing, ajwaba, same as qawala. Yes, so what happens in ajwaba? What's happening there? Ajwaba, you do what? Naql and qalb. Ajwaba, ajaba. And yujbibu becomes naql and qalb. So yujbibu becomes yujibu, naql and qalb. So these have naql, you move the haraka of the waw before it, then you change the waw into an alif or change the waw into a ya. So naql and qalb occurs in those. Correct? You got it? But he's explaining ijaba. What happens to ijaba? So let's go through the chart here. Sorry, this was supposed to be here. So it's supposed to be here. This is what is ijwaban. Originally, what was it? Ijwaban. So originally it's ijwaban. Correct? What happens? You do naql. When you do naql of the haraka, what happens to the haraka? It moves over to the jim like this. So it becomes e, then something like this. Then you do what? What will happen now after this? What's the next step? You do qalb. You do qalb of the waw into an alif. Correct? So you have now you have ijtima'u alifain. What do you do now? Hazaf. You do hazf and ta'weez. Ta'weez means replacing. So from here, from ijwaban, you do qalb, you change the waw into an alif. When it becomes, you do naqal, you move the haraka over here. When the haraka is moved, then you do qalb, you change the waw into an alif. Then you have two alifs, so you do hazaf. You remove one alif, and then you remove one alif. It's not working. You remove one alif, and at the end, what do? You remove the alif, and you put the ta as a replacement for it. So you do haf and ta'weez. Correct? Does that make sense? Are you following? Qalb is to change something, and ta'weez is to replace it with something else. So for example, the question is what's the difference between qalb and ta'weez? So qalb is when you change the waw into an alif. And here what's happened, this alif hasn't changed for anything else. You just replace it with a new letter altogether. So waw changes to an alif. You can see the change between a waw and an alif, and a ya and a waw and a ya. But this ta has nothing to do with the harful illa. So you can't call this qalb. So you put it at it's changed the type of letter, not even a harful illa, and also there is no there is no harful illa, and it's in a different place altogether as well. So it's a different place and a different type of letter. Therefore, you want to call it qalb, you call it ta'weez. You're changing it. Does that make sense? Replacement, ta'weez, replacement or substitution, replacing, substituting, deputizing. Okay, that's what he says. Well, aslu ijwaban. So originally it was ijwab. So ajaba yujibu ijabatan. Originally ijwaban. Okay, we can say i'talla. It's better to say i'talla instead of i'talla. I'talla bin naqli wal qalbi. What took place? Naql and qalb. What took place? Naql, then qalb, fajtami'a alifan, two alifs came together, fahuzifat ihdahuma, one alif was removed, wa uwwidha minhu at-ta'u, and you replace the dropped alif with a ta. So that ta is really the alif that was there from before. That's how you get ijabatan. So he didn't explain the changes in ajab and yujibu, that's done before. He just explained the changes in what? The masdar. So the first bab is bab if'al has changes. Second bab is istaqama yastaqimu istiqamatan. Istaqama is what? Istaqwama. Yes? So that's what? Qalb, naql and qalb. يستقيم نقل قلب. استقامة نقل qalb, hazaf, ta'weez. Correct? Are you following me? Ibrahim, Hamad? Same thing will happen here. Inqada yanqadu inqiyadan. Inqawada becomes inqada. Correct? And then you have naqalan, naqalan qalb, naqalan qalb, naqalan qalb. Wakhtara yakhtaru ikhtiyaran, bab ifti'al, bab number 4. So these 4 abwab of ajwaf change when they are mazid fi. The other abwab don't change. That's what he says here. Okay? Yes? And he explains the majhul form as well. So the forms expressed here were the ma'loom forms, and the forms expressed here the majhul forms, but the same changes that occur in the mujarrad will also occur here. So for example, what do you have here? You can figure out the changes now. So ukrima, ujwiba. Yes? So in ujwiba we have ujwiba. So what happens? You do naqal, correct? You do naqal, then what do? You do naqal, after naqal what do? You change the waw into a ya. Becomes ujiba. You got it? Are you following? Understood? Same with yujabu. What would it mean? Yuj. What would it have been originally? Yukramu becomes yujwabu. What 2 changes happens here? Naqal and qalb. Same will happen to all of these. Yes? Wal amru ajib. The only thing that happens here in the mufrad is what? So ajaba yujibu. So it becomes what? Ajib. No? What's happening here in ajib? What's happening? Iltiqa'u sakinayn. Because of iltiqa'u sakinayn, you do hadaf. So you have the same rules of mudari' plus hadaf because of iltiqa'u sakinayn. So ajib, ajiba, ajibu. Wastaqim, wastaqim. And wanqad becomes inqad. And wakhtar becomes ikhtar. Correct? Yes? Then what's not mu'tal? What does not have i'tilal? وَيَصِّحُ meaning no ta'alil. No changes take place. So no changes take place in which ones? قَوَّلَ باب تفعيل, تقول باب تفاعل, قاول باب مفاعلة, تقاول باب تفاعل. Whether it's wawi or ya'i, zayyana, tazayyana, sayara, tasayara. So these abwab, bab taf'il, tafa'ul, mufa'ala, and tafa'ul, whether it's wawi or ya'i. Then also bab if'ilal and if'ilal. Iswadda yaswaddu iswidadan. You don't change this waw, you leave the waw as it is. Correct? You don't say isadda, you say iswadda. Similarly, ibyadda, this is ya'i, this is wawi. Ajwaf wawi, ajwaf ya'i, both have the same rule. There's no ta'lil takes place in this bab. Correct? Even in if'ilal, ibyadda, yabyaddu, ibyadda, yabyaddu, I'm not sure the masdar. Iswadu, iswidadan. So, ihmara, ihmaru, ihmiraran. So, ihmiraran. So, ibyidadan. Ibyidadan. So, here, there will be no ta'lil as well. وَكَذَا تَسَائِرُ تَسَارِيفِ. All of them, whether it's madhi, whether it's mudari, whether it's amr, ism al-fa'il, ism al-maf'ul, none of them have any changes, not a problem. So, these are this like tasfi. There's no ta'lil, no i'tilal. Correct? You following? Yes? The next thing we have to discuss now is the ism al-fa'il and ism al-maf'ul. So ism al-fa'il min al-thulathi al-mujarrad yu'tallu ya ya'tallu. Both phrases is being written. Yu'tallu ya'tallu aynuhu bil hamza. Meaning what will happen? The aynul kalima will change, qalb, it will change into a hamza. Kasa'in wa ba'i. Tasana yasunu sawnan should become really, in theory, what should have been originally? Sa winun. Ba'a yabi'u should become ba yi'un. What do? You do i'tilal bil hamza, meaning you do qalb, you change the waw and the ya into a hamza. So it becomes what? Sa'inin and ba'i'in. Not ba'i', not sawin. You say ba'i' and sa'in. Qa'il. Qala qa'ilun, not qala qawilun. Okay? وَمِنَ الْمَزِيدِ فِي يُعْتَلُّ بِمَعْتَلَّ بِهِ الْمُضَارِعِ. يَعْتَلُّ, you can say يَعْتَلُّ as well. يَعْتَلُّ بِمَعْتَلَّ بِهِ الْمُضَارِعِ. the same change that takes place in the mudari will happen in ism al-fa'il, ism al-maf'ul, because the ism al-fa'il is made exactly from the mudari. We did that before, because the ism al-fa'il, ism al-maf'ul are made from ism al-fa'il and ism al-maf'ul are made from the mudari in mazid fi. So for example, yujibu, how do you make the ism al-fa'il of this? You change the ya into what? A meme. So muji and tanween, mujibun. So whatever changes happen to yujibu will happen to mujibun as well. So whatever i'tilal happened with the fa'il mudari, the same i'tilal will occur with the fa'il, with the ism al-fa'il and the ism al-maf'ul. كمجيب ومستقيم ومنقاد ومختار. Understood? Everybody following me? Okay. And اسم المفعول واسم المفعول من الثلاثي المجرد يعتل أو يعتل بالنقل وبالحذف. You have نقل and then حذف. كمصون ومبيء. So مفعول. So let's say for example you have منصور. So what should it be in theory? Maswoonun. Was it? Maswoonun. Who can explain to me what happens here? He says here, bin naqli wal hadfi. So naql. And then hadaf. You drop one of the waws. Correct? So naql and hadaf. Masoon. Yes? Okay? Understood? Now which one is mahzoof? Is this mahzoof or is this mahzoof? وَالْمَحْذُوفُ وَاوُ الْمَفْعُولِ إِنَّ سَيْبَوَيْهِ. One opinion is the waw of the maf'ul. So basically this is the mansurun. Man, so mim, noon, sa. This is the fa kalima. This is the ain kalima. This is the lam kalima. So Saybawayh says you drop this waw. So Saybawayh says which one do you drop? The waw which is part of the mansurun, the waw, not the sad. So Imam Saybawayh's opinion is what? You drop the waw that makes the maf'ul. And Abil Hasan al-Akhfash, rahimahumullah, he says that you remove this one. Akhfash says what? You drop this one. Correct? Understood? Make sense? So it's just a different opinion. Which one is dropped? It makes no difference. We read it the same way anyways. Okay. And Banu Tamim, those of you doing Qatun Nada, you know there's another the dialect that we use in the Quran and in our Arabic is the Hijaz, the way they speak. But obviously you have different language, different dialects of the same language in different country, in different parts of the country. So for example, if you go to London, they pronounce certain words differently. You go up north in Sunderland, you go up Merseyside, they pronounce different words differently. Yes? So the Banu Tamim, when they read, they leave that, they don't do naql and hadaf in maf'ul. They say mabyu'un, maswoonun, maqwoolun. They leave the waws. They don't drop any waw. They leave it. That's their lugha. Correct? Yes? Understood? And the ism al-maf'ul of the mazid fi ya'tallu bin naqli wal qalb in i'talla fa'luhu. If the fa'il has i'tilal, that would also have i'tilal. If the fa'il doesn't have i'tilal, that would not have i'tilal. So for example, yujibu becomes mujibun. So because, sorry, this becomes what? Mujabun. Correct? What's the ta'lil of this? Originally was what? Mukramun mujwabun. Mujwabun. So mujwabun, what's going to happen here? Who can explain what's going to happen here? In mujwabun? Naql. And then? This is called qalb. So because these verbs have i'tilal, so therefore the ism al-fa'il, ism al-maf'ul also have i'tilal. If we have, for example, bayyana, is it i'tilal in bab taf'il? Bayyana. No i'tilal, nothing happens to the ya. So you got mubayyinun in the ism al-fa'il and the mubayyinun. So bab taf'il doesn't have i'tilal. Muzayyinun. Muzayyanun. There's no ta'lil, no i'tilal in there. Correct? Are you following? And everyone understand this?